Hello, my name is Holly Goldberg Sloan. I'm the author of Counting by Sevens, published by Piccadilly Press. I'm in the UK on book tour. I'm so excited to be here. I'll be traveling all around the country talking about my book. What's crazy is that it's very hard for me to say what the book is about in a simple way. But it's the story of a young girl who's gifted. She's intellectually curious. She is adopted, and she faces a huge challenge. Her parents are both in an accident. I'm not giving anything away because this happens really right up front in the book, but it's a book about finding families and about finding yourself. And while there are things that are very sad in the book, I also think that the book is hopeful and it has a lot of comedy in it. So I know that doesn't sound like a very comedic setup, but it's about time and place and a group of characters who come together to form a family. The main character is a 12-year-old girl, and I am obsessed in some ways with Steve Jobs, who was the founder of Apple Computers, one of them, and he was adopted. He was from California. And I have two sons who went to a school for gifted children. And at that school, I was able to see all different forms of being intellectually very high performing. And so I took my interest in Steve Jobs, my interest in my own children, and then the second thing that I took was the idea of loss. And I had some personal loss in my life, and I put all those three components together. And then I think that there is something that's very close in grieving, in feeling sad and sorrowful. When you cry, it's not that different sometimes from laughing. They're both huge emotional releases. And so I tried to take those components and tell a story. I have spent most of my working career as a writer, but I worked in film and television. I've written movies for movie studios, for Walt Disney, and for television networks. And the idea of telling a story is the same, whether you're writing a book or whether you're writing for television or film. And I like to tell very personal stories. They're stories that are very character-driven. And it really was an accident how I ended up writing my first book, but I have found that writing books, writing novels, is the most rewarding experience I've ever had as a writer. It's a very personal experience. It takes maybe 100 people at least to get a film made and to contribute to that film. And no one single person is the author of a movie or of a television show. But when you write a book, it takes 2 or 3 people. It takes the author and their editor and the publisher and maybe some trusted friends. And by nature, very personal experiences are very meaningful experiences. So I have found great joy in writing books, and especially writing books for young people.